Inside a production meeting, a director, writer, and producer are mapping out a documentary about the quiet death of consumer ownership. The director sets the opening scene. It's midnight. A student is trying to finish a history project when the printer suddenly locks up, flashing a red error light. This wasn't a mechanical failure. A canceled $5 ink subscription triggered a remote firmware update, instantly turning the physical hardware into a plastic paperweight. The producer identifies this micro-frustration as the window into global economics. It scales the issue from a single desk to the entire market. You bought the machine, the paper, and the electricity, but the ink belongs to the manufacturer. You are merely requesting temporary permission to use its functions. The producer tracks this through the perception gap, the distance between what we think we pay and the actual drain on our accounts. This chart compares consumer estimates against bank reality. While most Americans believe they spend $86 a month on subscriptions, bank data shows the average is actually $273. Corporations engineer this gap through friction-free signups and cancellation dark patterns. They rely on administrative exhaustion and hidden renewal dates to keep the meter running. In this economy, compliance is manufactured through fatigue. We find ourselves in a perpetual negotiation with our own possessions every single billing cycle. The writer connects these local frustrations to the macro history of global monopolies. A century ago, the ABCD grain cartels dominated global agriculture without owning a single farm. Companies like ADM and Cargill owned the ports, the processing plants, and these wooden grain elevators. By controlling these regional distribution bottlenecks, they dictated the price of food for everyone. Monopolistic power stems from owning the toll booth that everyone is forced to pass through. Big tech has replicated this model. They scraped the open web, decades of human writing and art, to enclose the digital commons into proprietary training sets for AI. The director's vision contrasts the warmth of a living room with the cold, gigawatt-scale reality of the cloud. These massive concrete shells are the physical backbone of the internet. These hyperscale data centers act as the new grain elevators. Public data flows in, locked inside a corporate bottleneck. Access is then metered back through proprietary APIs, creating a perpetual subscription for the intelligence we originally provided. This is the reality of techno-feudalism. We pay perpetual cloud rent to tech lords just to function in a modern society. In the third act, the writer shifts from systemic control to active grassroots resistance. Independent farmers are on the front lines, fighting software locks that prevent them from repairing their own tractors. Without a proprietary software key, a $500,000 machine can sit idle during harvest. In basement workshops, hobbyists are performing hardware liberation. They are intercepting signals to spoof the DRM chips that remotely disable in cartridges. These everyday hackers use direct physical interventions, soldering bypass chips onto circuit boards in order to manually override corporate locks. From the cornfields to basement workbenches, consumers are rewiring the platform economy, moving away from passive rentiership to reclaim the rights of ownership. The producer concludes with a policy roadmap, identifying specific levers to dismantle these monopolies. The first steps involve unencumbered right to repair laws and mandatory click-to-cancel regulations. If it only takes one click to subscribe, it must take one click to leave. The structural fix is treating hyperscale compute infrastructure as a public utility. This breaks the proprietary control over the digital toll booth. The rented life is a product of deliberate corporate engineering. By demanding policy enforcement and hardware rights, we can dismantle the digital toll booths entirely.